Do you have trouble with willpower when it comes to food? Kathy's friend Shawn Stevenson has a great hack to help you make sure you're aware of what you're putting into your body. We need to shift our thinking so that we are fueling our bodies with real food. Join Kathy for a discussion about food today.
Hello, my friends. I'm Kathy Rotes. Thank you for joining me again today. Today we're going to think differently about food. What's your favorite food? So once you think about what your favorite food is, I want you to consider, is it really food? Well, what is food, right? Okay, here's the deal. Here are the definitions that we're going to go off of, we're going to live by during this episode. First of all, food is anything that comes directly from a plant or animal. The food or the ingredients in a food has to come from a plant or animal. And secondly, food is fuel. Anything probably could give us fuel or energy, but are you giving yourself a quick jolt of energy, or are you giving yourself a strong, healthy, prolonged energy throughout your day? I was listening to a podcast yesterday. I'll put the link here in the show notes. It was from my friend Shawn Stevenson. Love his podcast, love his knowledge. Podcast episode 754. It's titled The Hunger Habit and the Surprising Truth About Willpower. His special guest is Dr. Judd Brewer. It was so interesting listening to this episode because it was almost trying to prove willpower doesn't exist. It's not a biological thing, it's not a brain thing, but yet, there is something to willpower, and there's a number one thing that creates a stronger willpower, and that's our awareness. I thought, wow, this totally connects with my podcast episode this week, right? We need to be aware of the food we eat. In other words, we need to taste it, like really taste it, really be aware of how it makes us feel when we eat it, how it makes us feel as we eat more of it. We need to be more aware, and that really is going to connect with our willpower or even disconnect our willpower. So I think it's time that we really see food for what it really is. A lot of things that are on our grocery store shelves isn't food from a plant or animal. So it's time that we see it for what it really is. For example, let's talk about soda or pop or Coke or whatever you drink. I have a thing of Diet Coke here, right here with me. I'm gonna read the ingredient list here, and you tell me, is this really food? Carbonated water. Well, it's good that there's water in it, I guess, right? Caramel color, aspartame, phosphoric acid, potassium benzoate. I can't even say these. I should be able to say these words. I can't even say it. Natural flavors, citric acid, caffeine. Yeah, water is food, but the rest kind of sound like chemicals to me. Isn't soda chemical? I mean, it is. I mean, aspartame. Hello, stay away from that stuff. This is Diet Coke that I'm reading to you. I think it's time that we look at soda as chemical. Would you really drink this? Would you really drink Drano? Would you dump Drano down your throat? I mean, that's just as much chemical as soda is. We need to see it for what it really is. It's not food. It doesn't come from a plant or animal. Okay, let's look at macaroni and cheese. Box of Kraft macaroni and cheese. Here we go. Ready? Enriched macaroni, which is wheat flour, durum flour, niacin, ferrous sulfate, which is iron. They put iron in here. Thiamine monotrate, riboflavin, cheese sauce mix, which is whey, milk fat, salt, milk protein concentrate, lactic acid, sodium phosphate. This isn't food. Processed food isn't food. It's chemicals. It's sugar. Okay, let's look at that sugar. Added sugars, I guess there aren't any added sugars here, but there are 49 grams of carbs. Oh, let's talk about carbs for a minute. Pastas, white bread, white rice. What is carbs? Well, carbs is sugar. We eat more carbs than we really need, and carbs turns into sugar. Do we really want that? Is that really what we want in our body? We need to see carbs as sugar. Let's look at another processed food. Doritos. I have a little package of Doritos. This one kind of surprised me actually because the first ingredient is corn. Okay, that's food. That's a plant, right? That's grown. And then there's vegetable oil. Well, not exactly the best oil actually. You want to stick to things like avocado oil, olive oil. But anyway, what else is here? Salt, okay. Cheddar cheese, interesting. But in parentheses, we got milk, cheese cultures, salt, enzymes. Then we have whey monosodium, milk, cheese cultures. Oh, there's Romano cheese. Okay, that one surprises me a little bit. I mean, there's actually more plant stuff in here than I thought. But when you look at other bags of chips, there isn't. I mean, Cheetos, Doritos, really, what is it? How do we need to see it? This is flavored cardboard. This is like cardboard with a lot of good seasonings. They're not even herbs. They're just seasonings that are on it. Okay, you want to look at another one? Here, let's look at a Hershey bar. Hershey bar. We're talking about milk chocolate here, not dark chocolate. What's in here? Well, milk chocolate's in here. That's the number one ingredient. Sugar, milk, chocolate, cocoa butter, milk fat, lectin, and some other things I can't read. Sugar. It's sugar. I did bring something here that is, it is food. It is good food, and it does come directly from a plant. This is pure cacao. It's 100% pure ground cacao. I love Creo Brew. I don't get any stipends for advertising them, but I love Creo Brew. My friend Karen kind of led me to this. I'm not a coffee drinker, but what's the ingredient in here? Ground cacao. And then there's some natural cinnamon flavor because this is the cinnamon flavored cacao and natural vanilla flavor. That's it. 3 ingredients. And I can read all 3 and I know what they are. I know what cinnamon is. Cinnamon is a plant, right? Vanilla, a plant. Cacao, a plant. This is food, and by the way, it's 20 calories. It's got 3 grams of carbs, no added sugars, actually 2 grams of protein. That's it. This is food. Or an apple, an orange, a banana, a potato, an onion, hamburger. That comes from a plant. That comes from an animal. That's food. And those foods definitely give us more energy than the sugar foods, the chemical foods. You know, alcohol is chemicals. Obviously, it does something immediately to our bodies. Cigarettes or vapes, those are toxins. They are not good for our bodies. The food that we choose is affecting our brain. I think 2 episodes ago, episode 176, I talked about kiss your brain. Focus on 13 different areas that we have control over. We have control over our blood flow in our body. We have control over the toxins that we allow in or don't allow in. We have control over the nutrition, the exercise, inflammation in our body. We can take control over that. And a lot of it has to do with the food that we choose to eat. So my friends, I challenge you. I challenge you to think differently here today about food. See it for what it really is. I can't say that I've mastered this yet. I kind of struggle with it a little bit, right? I love my ice cream. That's no secret. But I don't drink pop anymore. Or soda, whatever state you live in. I don't drink it. I don't even have a desire for it. When I go out to eat, I drink water. Once in a while, I might have a ginger ale or a 7-Up if I'm not feeling good. But otherwise, I really do. I see it as a chemical because that is the ingredients that I read on its label. Do you see the Doritos as cardboard, flavored cardboard? Do you see all the sugar that's in the processed food? Do you see all the sugar that's in everything that we eat? See the food for what it really is. You're more aware now. You're more aware. And when we're more aware, we have a stronger willpower. I'm more aware of the soda. I'm more aware of the chemicals. I have no desire to have it. So I hope that I've challenged you today to think differently about the food that you're choosing. It's time that we think differently. It's the time that we see food for what it really is. One little change, my friends. Be great today.